It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's Superhero Slate. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about everything that's great. Like movies, TV, superheroes. It's Superhero Slate. Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris.
And my name is Mike.
And this week, Spider-Noir is coming in two versions.
Yes, I saw the ad, and I didn't know what it meant until you sent it to me again, and then I read it. I need to learn how to read.
Yeah, we're going to use our context clues to figure out what this means, but we'll talk about what those two versions are later in the episode. Supergirl gets a snack bug. Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I saw a blue link in our show notes, so I'm excited to click on it here in a little bit.
Exactly. If anything, we love our snacks here on the show, so this might be something we get down with. Doomsday could have multiple trailers this month. I had this month in there and more for this.
Yeah, it's been an onslaught of trailer rumors, and Chris, you've been the spearhead for me, so it sounds like there's a future version of us not too long away that has all the answers, and we're just here buffoons fumbling, just waiting to see what comes our way.
I can't wait until it's next year and we can just get over the trailer news and just get the first trailer out. Like, it doesn't matter, anything you show, anything, people will be hyped for it. So we can talk about what multiple ones mean later in the show and more today on today's episode. This month it is in fact our first December episode. Last week was on the cusp of November. This is our first December one, and with December comes, you guess it, Christmas and the holidays. That time where it's unrelenting. It feels like there's something every day and every weekend for the rest of the year, and all you really want to do is take a nap because it's dark at 5 o'clock and it's cold out.
Exactly. We got our decorations up. So this is like the first year we've had like a fully sentient child walking around, and surprise and delight to us, she has not absolutely torn down the Christmas tree at all, which is great. She kind of walks up to it. Weirdly enough, like, Christmas tree ornaments like are so close to just children's toys, like especially the ones that we get. We get all these like characters that are basically like unposable action figures with like little tree hooks on them. And like she just leaves them alone. So I don't understand what the psychology is of them hanging from a tree, but she just leaves them alone and just admires the lights. So
good.
We did get our okay, I got to make sure I get them right. Are they called True Tone bulbs? No, Ventaglow, that's what they're called.
Oh, the original yellow ones?
Yeah, the Ventaglow Christmas lights. These are my wife had to pre-order them last year, like around this time, in order to get them for the next year. And we just got, I think, 1 or 2 strands, but she plugged them in and they're gorgeous. Like, for lack of a better way to describe them, they are essentially the Christmas lights that you grew up with, but made with LEDs. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, I can go down to Lowe's right now. I can go to Home Depot right now, and I can get LED Christmas lights that look like that. No, the color temperature is so weird. They're so different. Like it's like blinding. It like hurts your eyes. Like these truly like mimic.
I have blue light blockers for those types of Christmas trees, Mike. Like, I'm wearing these blue light LED blockers because those newer ones are not, they're missing that yellow magical glow from the era of like yellow filament and that warm light. So absolutely,
and like
amazing.
And these upgrade the experience in like 3 ways. One, they're LEDs, so they consume less electricity. I'm sure they're not, the normal ones don't really use all that much anyway, but less money to run them. 2, all of the little glass, they all looks like glass, but it's plastic, which is great. So you don't have to worry about like accidentally smashing one into the carpet or something like that, or breaking them. And then 3, they don't get hot at all. You don't have to worry about like burning yourself if you accidentally touch one. So these are great. They have more going up for pre-order on, I think it's the 15th of this month. And as soon as my wife plugged them in, she's like, oh, we're replacing all of our Christmas lights across the whole house that we decorate stuff in these lights. I think they are working on like bigger ones, like the big fat juicy bulbs as well. So we have a couple of those on the exterior of our place. So yeah, shout out to Vintiglow. Go get you some. You got to pre-order them probably, but go get you some.
Yeah, get ready for next year's lights now while you can, before they somehow find a way to use that extra LEDs and AI chips.
God, yeah,
and raise the price up of everything all around. No, I'm kidding. I like the old yellow stuff. Like I said, you've seen my basement. People see my basement. I have the old yellow filament bulbs ish, or like they're LEDs, but they're filaments for like my TV stands, because those old ones got so hot back there. Like I was worried it would melt things, or at least catch the real wood on fire. So absolutely, love that for your tree and doing that. With that, though, not this week, not today, but next week's episode will be the last before the holidays. How everything falls this year, we'll do this week's episode, next week's episode, and then be back right at the cusp of the end of the year, the 29th or something like that, we think 28th, to talk about the year, do a recap. We'll have Avatar probably under our belt by then, right? I think.
Yes, hopefully, depending on my schedule, but I want it to happen. I want to talk about those blue guys.
Yeah. Anything else that kind of happens for the there's like a lot of stuff kind of going on in theaters right now, so absolutely love to take a look at that. So and I think that is actually ironically we are like a month away before we can even talk about the end of Stranger Things still, because that'll happen on the 1st or the 31st.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's crazy. Stranger Things absolutely dominated last weekend for our household, and I haven't thought about it at all since then. I'm not saying that's because it was bad or underwhelming. I think I just moved on, and I've done 1,000 other things since then. So I'll remember Stranger Things again once they get that second of 3 media blitzes back up.
Yeah, it's very interesting because like it's been all over my social. Like I don't interact with anything, but it's like all over my social channels, like stuff like that. So I'm happy with that. Kind of along it, but like it's not been too bad. So thrilled to finally kind of wrap it up and move on to whatever Netflix is doing next. I don't know. They're a small company. They don't have any money. I don't know what they're going to be doing at the end of the day. Let's get into some of our news. So first and foremost, one of the things that I always remember about growing up is we always watched Star Wars around Christmas time. There was always a channel marathoning Star Wars, classic Star Wars. This is pre-prequel era. And you could always turn it on, I think Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and you'd be like, oh, are we in A New Hope? Are we in Empire? Are we in Return of the Jedi? I don't know, but like I always remember that, and that's it's something I think I probably want to try to do this year, is watch some Star Wars, classic Star Wars. But I'm also looking forward to the future, because in 2027, Star Wars A New Hope will return to theaters for its 50th anniversary, and you may say, why would you do that? It's on Disney Plus. Apparently, this is a newly restored version of the 1977 release, not 97. That was the special edition, which has intrigued me because everyone has clamored for that. I have the despecialized and the 4K despecialized versions on my home server to watch at any given time, which are a little rougher when you look at film grade stuff like that. But like, I would love to experience A New Hope kind of retroactively, right, in the original version in a couple of years.
I'm really curious what the restoration community thought of the news. Right? Are they starting to put together like a heist team to go inside a local movie theater and like steal one of the hard drives and get the digital file so they can have it? Because I love their scrappy ingenuity of like getting parts of the film from different releases and cobbling something together that's as close to the original release as possible. I mean, one thing that worries me a little bit is just because there was a recent 4K re-release of Mad Men on HBO, and I'm seeing the community that loves that show like really mad because they like tinkered with it. They went in and they edited some things. But
they also de-edited some things, is what I think what you're about to say.
And then I saw some people say that no, actually they uploaded the wrong video files. They're actually going to fix it. So it's always so funny because it's like it's just a psychological experiment. It feels like what do our fans want? Do they want like the purest high quality visual, or do they want to go back in time and see what they saw back in the day? But sometimes that doesn't hold up. And people say like, oh, this looks garbage. They didn't do a good job restoring it. Honestly, this is just where we need time travel tourism. I would just love to go back to the year 1977 and go into a movie theater, right? Mm-hmm. Like that would be amazing to witness that movie for the first time with an audience that has literally no idea what Star Wars is. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is, you know, like I said, I have the 4K 77 and the despecialized version. Which fans have done. They, like you said, they got like old copies like across the globe, and have like been scanning them and restoring them. And it was like I was part of their Patreon for a while, funding some of their stuff because I really wanted those versions. And I think we talked about it. Was it earlier this year? Maybe in June. Like was it the BFI Institute in London showed it there. Because it was like they wanted to show it. I think it was like they were water testing it a little bit to see what it was. Because I think, you know, Disney they own everything. They have all the files, all the film reels, everything you could want to get that back, and obviously the money and resources to do it, and some time, because like I said, it's 2027. We are a year and like 3 months away. So I think they could do it right. And I would love to take a look at it and watch it. Even though I have it at home, give me my Twizzlers and my root beer and put me in a seat, Mike. I want to be watching this in a couple of years. And then I fully believe, I wholeheartedly believe that in soon after, probably because it's a year-long celebration, right? 2027 from 77, they will release this will be on Disney Plus somewhere. I don't think you're going to need to do that heist. I think they'll put it on Disney Plus. Kind of like how they had the IMAX editions, like you have to go down and select it.
But then they'll complain about like the codec and compression on the stream.
Well, someone will find a high res one. They'll just jack the hard drive from the theater. That's fine. But I'm just saying, like, it won't be like you have to go ask somebody in a yellow raincoat, how do I get the unaltered Star Wars? And then they take you behind an alleyway and open up their coat and show you which Star Wars do you want. But to me, like, this is also a good time to remind people that it is Christmas time, and A Muppet Christmas Carol does have the full version released on Disney Plus that you have to go through the menus to select. So I was using that as a segue into there rather than harp on Star Wars. So don't forget, go watch the full version of A Muppet Christmas Carol on Disney Plus this season. Avengers Endgame is being re-released in theaters in September of 2026. That's your PSA for that. But I really want to know why not both Infinity War and Endgame. Why is it just Endgame, you think? Any half-cocked theories on this one?
I mean, yeah, because it's not going to be for a while until it's out, so... I mean, maybe they just don't want to run up the theater like slots. I don't know. Who knows?
I have an idea. We go out. Continue.
I wonder if maybe we're under the same thing. Maybe there's like a specific box office goal that it's trying to achieve, and it's better to not like split the vote in a way. Like get everyone get all the dollars going back to Endgame so they can be like number one back on the list or wherever it's at.
Yeah, no, that's not it at all. Infinity War is a straightforward sequel to essentially Phase 1 and 2, and then Phase 3. Endgame is the first multiversal movie, right? In Marvel, right? Is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the only one that deals.
Okay, kind of, yeah, you could think about it that way.
Because like Loki spun off of this because they go back and he is free with the Tesseract, and that causes the Loki show. Captain America stays back in his time, become Old Man Rogers. Like, there's a bunch of things like that spin off of this. And sure, they quote close the loop by putting some of the stones back, but obviously there are some unintended side effects. Again, I'm specifically referring Loki because of his show and everything.
So interesting, Chris. I'm looking at the worldwide gross. Endgame is only like maybe like 1.5 or like $150 million away from
Avatar.
From Avatar becoming number one. Now that's all owned by Disney. But if Endgame went back out into the world, hit the number one spot, that's a marketing push, right? They can say number one movie in the world again. Now make sure you get your tickets to go see the next one.
Yeah, I think that's, and it's also the last Avengers movie. But I think to me, this one and not both is because of the multiversal thing. And I actually didn't even think of that until we just started talking. It's like, why would they not do that? Oh, because Endgame is the one where they play with time and multiverses along the way. So, cool. I will probably not be going back for it. I've put in my time on Endgame in theaters and money, and I have it at home. But for people who may want to revisit it after, 7 years? 6.5 years? 6.5 years? Is that right? 7.5 years?
Man.
2019. Good Lord. About time we get back to the Avengers yet again. But that's what Doomsday's here for, December of 2026. I've been throwing these things at Mike. So a couple things. First rumor is that the first trailer for Doomsday is releasing this Thursday, December 11th. I don't know what is going on movie-wise this month other than Avatar. And I don't know why they would do this on a Thursday, if that makes sense. Do you have any idea why a Thursday would? I mean, just I can't think of why a Thursday would be something they'd be.
Well, when's Avatar come out? I've already lost track of the actual release date of Avatar.
It's the 8th. It's the week after. It's the week after. For that, I've got the Wikipedia pulled up here. But I think it's just showing me box office, not actual.
Well, I guess
releases.
Thursday would give them technically like a full, marketing week. 7 days until Avatar comes out.
December.
And if this next theory holds true, it gives them time to release other ones possibly.
5th, 10th, 11th, the 11th, and 12th. Ella McKay. That's not it. Silent Night, Deadly Night. There's nothing in here that week. Avatar: Fire and Ash is the 19th. And so SpongeBob is the 19th. For those who may want to go see that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Was it the Jersey one? Chrome Alone, Lost in New Jersey. I think is what it is. So that's there. But yeah, I can't think of why it'd be that. Other than the fact they just want to get people's eyes on it and maybe, tell people, see the full trailer in front of Avatar. Maybe it's like a teaser trailer and the full trailer's only in theaters next week. Because that goes into the next theory. This is from someone who has sources and has reported things correctly in the past. Is that there will be 3 Doomsday trailers releasing over 3 weeks that all connect. And the theory is saying, this is the theory, that they're all will put them in front of Avatar to encourage repeat viewings of Avatar. The answer to that is no. We have the internet. People will put this on video sites. Like, you will find these on TikTok and Instagram, and there will be no way to take them all down. So while you may love Avatar and want to go see it quite a bit, more power to you. I don't think you need to go see Avatar three times to watch these trailers.
Yeah, I mean, I could be I could be wrong, absolutely. But, I mean, if you looked at the last 2 performances of Avatar, strong. I don't think they need a trailer in front of them. But, I mean, obviously we're going to get some sort of trailer with Doomsday in front of it. I think
the thing is with Avatar, like right now, this, number one, it's not a movie you have to really pre-order you pre-buy your tickets to see, right? Like, it's not like, oh my gosh, this movie's going to be spoiled for me kind of deal, like the Marvel stuff. So you don't need to buy your tickets ahead of time. But also at the same time, it's only been 3 years since the last one. Is that right? We said 2023, maybe 2022. I don't remember. But the first one had 13 years. Like, do you think, is it? And I don't like this phrase, but sequelitis. Like, we're already got another one so fast that people are like, the specialness is gone.
Yeah, I have heard that argument that the decades long hype, is not there, and we weren't really treated to like a huge cliffhanger after the Way of Water. Obviously, there's still open threads, right? But
yeah,
I don't
22
know.
4 years.
4
years.
I mean, what do they always say? Never bet against.
No, absolutely.
James
I don't
Cameron.
think it's not going to tank. It's not going to bomb. But I'm just one of those things. Like, I don't think the third one, currently right now, is going to overpower the other two. I guess maybe is my thought. But we talked about Zootopia 2 being the biggest movie, I guess American movie in China ever last week. So can't really say what the other regions are going to do for this movie and lift it up and put it over that lift. I could definitely see like India and China really doing things. But if we have Doomsday trailers, we will talk about one next week, possibly. I almost feel confident we're going to have one by the end of the year, like our episode after Christmas. So
yeah, they want people heading over to the families during the holiday and talking about the trailer.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we'll be together. We'll talk about it. We'll see each other. We'll have a little conversation, a little sidebar about it. We'll sip our drinks and swirl them and say how the trailer was rather shallow and pedantic. I'm kidding. The Punisher, they filmed a special presentation, right? We talked about this. Jon Bernthal has been unquote saying that it sounds like the Punisher special is after his appearance in Spider-Man. And I'm just going to read this off quotes and we'll talk about it. Around that same time, there will be this Punisher special that's coming out. I think it will be a high-octane Punisher as you've ever seen, the actor teased. I think it was really important to me and to Destin and to Tom that we believe that the Punisher could walk off the Spider-Man set and could walk onto the special set, and I do believe that we achieved that. So that's the quote. It can be taken two ways. Number one, they were filming at the same time, so he had to bounce back and forth, be in the same mindset of the character, or he's going to do Spider-Man, and then the Punisher special will come out after, despite our fact we thought it might be beforehand.
Yeah, well, it makes you wonder, is there... I feel like the rumors that we've been getting for the Spider-Man movie are leaning... I haven't seen anything that reinforces the theory that it's like a battle world in any way, right?
Yeah.
If the Punisher is just going to walk off and go on his own adventure, which I think would just be smaller because it's on a small screen, he just shoots guns, he's not fighting anything crazy super powered. I wouldn't think it would be like a battle world situation. So I'm kind of curious what story they need to tell in a special presentation that maybe pivots the Punisher more towards, Secret Wars or Doomsday.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. I don't even know if the Punisher will or Spider-Man will. Maybe they're kind of set in their own little things. Obviously, we've heard Spider-Man's, Spider-Man, Punisher, and Hulk fighting. The Punisher special, from what we've seen, it just looks like a street level thing, and we've heard that Daredevil stuff will be essentially standalone. Like they won't be like, hey, we need to tie in all this stuff, and it probably won't be multiversal for Daredevil. So I don't know if the Punisher will be even that big. With Spider-Man, we don't know. The Spider-Man stuff is like the biggest question. Like I would much rather want to see a Spider-Man trailer than a Doomsday trailer, if I'm going to be completely honest, Mike. Like I just don't know what's going on with it. And that's not a complaint. I just literally don't know with that kind of stuff. Any idea? Like, would you want to see that? Like, do you think that maybe we'll get one of those sooner or not?
Maybe Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee Super Bowl, but like, I'm just more curious. Like, that movie's first. I wonder why we wouldn't get it in our situation that we've got here. Mm-hmm. But can't win them all, I guess, which is sad for this. But oh wow. But maybe by the end of the year we will have a trailer for the other Spider-Man property coming out, Spider-Noir, which is the official title. It's not Spider-Man Noir, it is Spider-Noir. And I actually had the links in here for the posters. So at CCXP is going on. There were some posters released, multiple posters, and the reason these multiple posters exist, I will grab this link and I'm going to put it in here. Mike, do you remember why there's two posters in here?
There are two versions. There's going to be color and black and white.
Yes. And I think so far, and correct me if I'm wrong, the only footage we've seen from like that teaser is that it's that there's the black and white one's the only one we've seen right now, right? Like that's the only one I think the footage we've seen. So to know that they're going to be doing it in color, pretty interesting to me. I'm down with that. Like any.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what the creator wants us to watch. Like which did it start with? Was it always going to be black and white, and then Amazon was just like, yeah, we gotta do this in color. We're kind of like we're narrowing our audience here if it's only black and white.
Well, so I will tell you. I'll tell you which one as soon as you get there. You mean if you want to say something else? So black and white is the one that they said is like the original one, or I guess the one that they made it meaning it to be watched in black and white. However, I put the posters in there finally. So Spider-Noir. It's got him behind it, and it reveals that B. Riley is the private gangster. This isn't Peter Parker, so it's a Ben Riley, which is historically known as the clone of Spider-Man, with the spider there in the door. I don't know if I can't think of a situation offhand lately where something was shot in black and white and then and then the color was given. Like I don't know. Most things are shot in color these days, right? And then black and whited. So I don't know which, when they were filming it, which came first, the egg or the chicken in this situation. So I really don't know. But like I will probably, the showrunner was talking about the black and white one. So I think I will watch the black and white one when it comes out. We do not have a release date yet at this time. But I'm actually, again, I think we've talked about this, fairly excited for Spider-Noir, Mike. Is this got your hype up?
This is like the second time in the Spider-Man universe where we've been proven wrong with the project announced, and then all of a sudden we're like, hey, wait a minute, this actually looks kind of good.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if the footage was released anywhere because they did show some footage, but it was like the eyes, like the glowing white eyes, and then like a 1930s style like crooks. The lights go off. And then Spider-Noir standing there. So I don't think there's anything like big, but I don't see a release date for it yet either. This is Amazon's, like I think we talked last week, was it right? Like or 2 weeks ago. Like Amazon's really kind of firing off. They've got Spider-Noir, Fallout, the 3rd season of The Lord of the Rings. We've got the 5th season of The Boys, which we'll talk about here in just a second, as well. Like so, I'm actually impressed with the Amazon's output for the next calendar year at least. Until we're proven wrong along the way. Do you think the Ben Riley thing will confuse anybody? Is my next question for you. Because a lot of people may not understand that reference.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, good. Like it. Simple answer. So moving on in Sony's universe as well, we're going to stay here for a second, is Men in Black. Sony's moving forward with an actual sequel to the Men in Black universe. Now, they are eyeing Will Smith's return as a character Jay, and if you remember, there was the Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson led Men in Black a few years ago. Was it set in the same universe? I think maybe they had pictures of the characters, but like they didn't touch
but I don't,
K or J at all.
Yeah, I don't believe anybody watched that movie.
I did. I went to theaters. I paid to watch it, but I don't remember it. I don't remember a goddamn thing about it. Which is the worst part.
If you go to a movie and don't remember it, did you ever watch it at all?
Yeah, I think I did, but again, Cardinal Sin. I don't think anyone was thrilled to be watching that one. But so they're looking to do it. So they have Chris Bremner, who wrote Bad Boys for Life, is writing the script. So that leads people to think, oh, this is probably a Will Smith outlet, right? Since the Bad Boys movies were his movies as well. And I don't have anything else. I mean, I like the original Men in Black, Mike. I don't know. It's got like a fond place in my heart, and not the second or third one, but the first one wholeheartedly.
That first one was always a delight whenever you would just be channel surfing back in the day on the weekend, and just like, oh, Men in Black's on, hell yeah.
Yeah, I think it was something with like most of it was practical effects. And there's like some CGI. I believe there was like one guy who got his head shot off and he regrew his head. It was like a little CGI. But like, and I guess the later Edgar in the bug outfit. But I really resonate towards that Men in Black. It's just so much fun. And there's so much potential.
They just have this great storytelling device of they just can't let the public know. It's like anybody can like make a aliens live on Earth, movie, but like the fun, creative challenge is like, how do we stop these aliens without letting people find out about it?
Yeah, I tell you, there's something about we haven't had the aesthetic of like that kind of alien stuff. It's like retro futuristic, like 1960s silver, like curved metal guns, and like everything felt like it was pulled out of like Roswell out of the 60s, like because that's kind of where things were like, and like, oh, this agency is just essentially making sure the aliens live on Earth and they're not doing anything wrong, and then dealing with other stuff. So I don't know, it's just a fun movie and I think it still holds up. So maybe we'll get a good one. I'm not gonna hold my breath for something like life changing out of a Men in Black sequel kind of going forward, but we'll see how that goes. You just watched The Boys trailer right before the show started, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first season 5 trailer dropped late last night, with a couple of posters, and revealed that the show is going to debut on April 8th and run through May 20th on Amazon Prime. In this, essentially, the screenshot, the thumbnail, and everything else, they show essentially Homelander punching someone repeatedly. Who do you think it is?
That is the question. I think I need this season, Chris, to be cathartic.
Yeah,
it's tragically mirroring real life a little too much. And if this is going to be the final season, I just really want to be left with like a little bit of hope. I have no illusions that any of the good guys will like win or stay alive, but I do hope the bad guys lose. Usually when you say like, oh, the bad guys lose, that must mean the good guys win. No, not all the time. As long as something, like the last couple seasons have so been like the good guys, like they get an inch and then they fall back like 4. And it's just like, I need some catharsis on this season. So hopefully they give it to us.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know if you're familiar with the comic book.
Not at all.
When it wrapped up, okay, good. So like, there's a lot of it from the comic book, but one of the interesting things about it is the end of it. You find out that like Homelander thinks he's going crazy because Black Noir is a clone of Homelander in the comic books. Like they obviously haven't done that here. They can't in the same way because they've already, I guess, killed Black Noir 2 seasons ago and replaced him with someone else who they know who it is. So it's interesting. Like they have free reign to end this how they want, and I think they know it's the final season. So I think we will absolutely be getting. They're writing towards an end. They know it. But also,
I think they have to. I think they have to keep at least the status quo of heroes around, though, because aren't there like spinoffs still in the works?
Well, supposedly, I don't think you can get rid of it because of like the Gen, like there's the Gen V show as well. Obviously, like there's the blood, what's the serum called or whatever, that
Compound V. Yeah.
So like that's going to be around. I think there will always be heroes, but I think it's just going to be one of those like, how do you get rid of Homelander? We saw Jensen Ackles' Soldier Boy in here as well. He's still on the table. It's definitely, I don't know. There's a lot they could do here. I don't think everyone will live. I think Butcher will probably die as well. I think he's always been like, well, he's like, I only have a short amount of time to live anyway. But yeah. I'm interested to see how
whoever Homelander is punching has to be super powered, because Homelander only needs one punch for somebody without powers.
Yeah, it could be. I guess Soldier Boy, which is his dad, but like it seems like that's more of his nose is bloody as well. So whoever it is was someone who could fight him, and I don't know. It's great that the show's going to end where it needs to end. I guess next year. So. We'll see how that goes when it debuts. Let's jump into the DCU for the back half of the show here. So number 1, Supergirl, booth down at CCXP. The rumor is that the first trailer for Supergirl will also debut this Thursday, December 11th. I like to think I understand how movie theaters work, but they can show trailers for any movie before any film, right? Like there's no, like the theater decides what trailers are there, right? Before movie starts.
All I know is they're definitely different. You know, if you go to a Cinemark theater, you're getting a different stack of trailers compared to if you go to AMC.
Yeah. So I would 100% guarantee for Supergirl coming out next June, they would want this in front of as many eyes as possible. Because I don't know if you know this, the Supergirl movie from the 80s didn't do very well. Didn't do very well at all. Notoriously one of the worst movies in the superhero genre. So I think they want to get this in front of people. And I think if they do the 11th, this will also be a candidate for the Avatar seats. Maybe Anaconda as well. People watching Anaconda. Probably maybe even SpongeBob. Who knows? So they definitely want to get this in theaters so people can be watching it along the way. With that, the CCXP booth, I have some photos here in our link, shows off the interactive booth. So we get to see a little statue of Crypto, the bad dog. And then a couple other things include the Supergirl logo, which is uncreatively the same S as Superman. So hopefully, people will. I think people understand. Don't think it'll be a problem with that. But you also kind of get to see, a little bit of like this neon bar vibe that they're going to be kind of doing, with some of this Supergirl stuff. Nothing really to stand out here on the Supergirl font and logo front, but the next one is a weird little bug display. It looks like essentially a popcorn machine that a bug is eating this sort of grass, and then he's strapped in and like he's excreting these little snack pellets, and there's like a cup next to it that you can scoop up some of those and eat them.
This creature feels very gun coded.
Yeah,
like, I could see this being at a bar and Peter Quill goes up to it, or are these Zagnuts? Is this what Drax is going after? Are Zagnuts like a real?
That's a candy
thing,
bar.
Or is
that's
that
a candy
just
bar.
Space thing. Didn't he say something? Wasn't he eating?
Was it like a Zargnut or something like that? It was.
Yeah,
it was close.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So maybe this is like a slight hint, maybe now of kind of what our interdimensional DC universe looks like. And we've talked about it before. It's an interesting challenge of like Gunn has now created one inner space world for Marvel. So how is his one for DC going to look different? Because if you think about it, like our culture kind of has just kind of almost one narrow view of what outer space looks like in sci-fi, which is, it could be a bunch of crazy anything. Really, and that's been
I would say
through all of media.
The last 5 years, though, every space thing I see has to be related to like a bar. Everyone's got a bar in space. You want to get drunk in space, by God, you can find it. But do you think, you bring up a good point that this is very much, again, Guardians of the Galaxy coded. Do you think they would allude to a shared, like, a couple, like, Easter eggs from the Marvel Guardian stuff? Like, yeah, we have those things over here, too. Like, if we have humans over there, we probably have, like, blue people or, like, a Yondu's even kind of thing.
I don't know. That'd be interesting. I feel like the most it would be is like you'd see like a crowd shot, and then maybe in the back there's like something that has kind of like a blue skin and a fin on his head.
It's Sean Gunn again. It's Sean Gunn again. Because he's like, hey, he calls his brother up. Hey, can you get over here? We need you for a shot in DC. But this will do. Do you think they're gonna try to make like a popcorn bucket out of something like this, dude? Like for something or like some sort of candy around this guy this year.
You're already halfway there. He's already making food.
Yeah, he's already making food, and like he's kind of looks like he's in a popcorn machine, if you will. I like the cup dispenser on the right there, and does that kind of looks like it says popcorn up there, doesn't it, on the wide image?
Yeah, a little bit. Mm-hmm.
So that's fun. I've got nothing against Supergirl. I'd love to see kind of what they're bringing to the table with that. Also, I saw this in like passing. The actor who plays the villain in this Crim of the Yellow Hills, I think is his name, was sentenced to jail time in Europe, 6 months or more, for driving without a license or a license suspension or something. It's not his first time doing it, so they essentially was like, yeah, you get some jail time. But I don't know. He might be able to commute it or whatever. So we'll see if he shows up in time for the promotions for this movie next year. which I never really thought. Like I'm like, oh, the guy went to jail. He probably did something horrible. No, he just got pulled over. Didn't have a license in Europe. So which is interesting. So we'll see how that goes. Just I don't know. It's not like a bad thing, but like I guarantee someone's gonna pull that out here in a couple weeks, or I guess a month or something. A few months. But yeah, Supergirl. No footage yet. Hopefully we get some this week. But that's really all the CCXP stuff we have. Sadly, let's jump into some other news coming from the bigger outlets here. The Batman Part 2. Scarlett Johansson is in talks to join the cast of the sequel.
Scarlett. She seems to be so in demand right now.
So hot right now. So hot.
I mean, I don't think she necessarily helped or hurt Jurassic Park. You know, that last movie had flaws outside of her purview. But it would be interesting to see her. Be interesting though, because I feel like at her point in her career, if she's gonna join a franchise movie, it seems like she would want to be top billing, right? So, you know, whatever hero or villain she might play, it's definitely not gonna be minor in the movie. It's not gonna be secondary.
Well, I think that there could be two things. We don't know who the villain is. I assume she's a villain. I assume she's not a hero. Is my thought on this. Based on what we know around this, but they always say, what's his name, Matt something Reeves has always said that this villain is someone we've never seen in a movie done before, and you know, people are like, oh, she could be a Poison Ivy. She's probably not Poison Ivy. They've already done that before. She could be the Phantasm. We've not had a live action Phantasm, and people love to watch Mask of the Phantasm for the Batman the Animated Series. Or a character such as like Jessica Dent, you know, a lesser known character. But I think I agree with you that, you know, it could be she's going to be someone a little bigger. So I don't know. They've always talked about, you know, was it Hush? Could it be like her take on, like she's Hush maybe? Like that's
maybe.
I mean,
I
twist?
I love the Phantasm idea, like one of the most iconic villains that has been on a screen necessarily, but an animation. It seems like she's got to have somebody on her team of reps that's got to be nerdy, right? She's been in so many nerdy projects, but she's been able to successfully like avoid like the Sony offshoot type of stuff, right? You know, she got in early on the MCU, I guess, and has avoided a lot of. Well, you know what? I gotta take that back. I'm thinking of Ghost in a Shell and other stuff too. But even that one's pretty. That's like pretty nerdy. It just didn't go well.
Well, I mean, one of her first movies was was it Ghost World? Is it called Ghost World? I think it was the comic book when she was like younger. Yeah, you definitely not an actress who's not estranged from, like, again, like you said, sci-fi properties, comic book properties, like you said, nerdy stuff. But at the same time, like, you know, when you're a star of that, you know, stature, nature, especially after the box office draw that Jurassic World was, despite, you know, it obviously not being Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park, they still, you know, still being able to just she could do what she wants, right? Like there's nothing saying that she could she has her own studios probably, or production. She could probably make her own movies and sign whatever wants. So this has to be something good, right? Like something she wants to do rather than oh, hey, I need the money. I spent all my Jurassic World money, or my husband Colin Jost spent all my money on that ferry that he went in on with Pete Davidson up in New York. Or a gambling casino, a gambling boat, wasn't it? Gambling ferry. You familiar with that story at all?
I mean, I'm not much of a New Yorker, but I have seen the images of like the big orange boat. I thought it was a ferry, like it just shepherding people from shore to shore.
But it's like I thought it was a boat. I thought it was a gambling boat they bought up there. Hold on.
Maybe they're going to turn it into a gambling boat?
They bought the decommissioned Staten Island ferry, yes. And they were going to turn it into a floating entertainment venue. That's what it was. So we're both right. It was originally a ferry. They want to turn it into a gambling thing. That hasn't kind of happened yet. But yeah. Anyway, Batman Part 2 sounds like I think we're gonna get some casting stuff first quarter next year, and they'll start filming probably soon after. So we'll keep you appraised if any official articles spin up out of this. But we're not done with the Batman, because I believe it was not James Gunn, the other guy, Peter Safran, who apparently they've known each other for like 20 plus years. I thought they like more of a recent partnership, but like they've worked together since like the early 2000s, if not the late 90s. When James Gunn like wished him a happy birthday, he had all like these photos of them together from way back when. So changed my perception of how they operate, but that's fine. He said that the Penguin season 2 is in development as well, or like it was like maybe Variety that said it when they were talking to him. It's not greenlit, so don't get your hopes up yet. But after it winning so many awards, after it came out, I assume it's probably high on their list to maintain something in that universe. They also did in the same sentence say that it is in the works alongside the, quote, true crime series based on super intelligent villain Gorilla Grodd. So remember that, it's not Gotham, what was it, the Daily Bugle show we talked about with Skylar Gisondo? Apparently the villain of that series is Gorilla Grodd at the end of the day. So that is both of these I guess confirmations to a reputable source and interviews. Actually, I don't know, it's weird like to hear like, yeah, we're gonna do a season 2 of the Penguin, and also you get a Gorilla Grodd show in the DCU.
Also, I mean, absolutely everything we're talking about over at Warner Brothers now has a big old asterisk on it, well, if it's not already out.
Well, here we go. So I'm actually going to swap 2 points around here. So number one, the DCU currently, they also unveiled that James Gunn and Peter Safran extended their contracts through spring of 2027. They were originally out October 2026, but they've got another 6 months onto it. So I presumably that there are some release dates or production things that they need to get done. I think what Man of Tomorrow is summer 2027, so James Gunn will be on that. I don't know how long TV shows take to produce with that. So I think everything we've talked about so far feels confident in being produced here. However, Mike, the big aspect you're talking about is what?
It is the biggest news in town. Netflix has now won the bid to acquire Warner Brothers, which is pretty crazy because all of the industry insiders, when Warner Brothers went up for sale, thought Netflix's acquisition was kind of like just noise, distraction. I guess I didn't know this, but I guess Netflix a couple times maybe has gone out into the world when other studios have been for sale and have kind of just driven up the price of stuff for their competition with no intention to ever buy it. So I think some people thought, oh, maybe that's what's happening here as well. And then they won the bid, which is pretty crazy. Now that doesn't mean the deal has been signed. It still has to be approved by Washington, which is a whole nother political side of things. And I think some people aren't really sure how cozy Netflix is with the current administration, because Paramount, apparently, the Ellisons are best friends with the White House. So that acquisition, I don't think, would have been questioned. I think there was some official that has been quoted recently that says, they don't think that this is going to get approved, but I think there's only been, one kind of data point for that. So as of right now, we just kind of assume that this is the deal that's been accepted, and it's kind of crazy to imagine a world where you might see the little HBO logo on one of your little rectangles when you pull up Netflix maybe in a year or two.
Yeah. So just to kind of go back a little bit, so this was the second round of bidding for people who don't know. So they went up, they said no, everyone's offers were too low, including Paramount, Skydance. I think Netflix had a first one as well. And then Comcast was another one. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yep.
They tossed in there, NBC Universal. So the interesting thing is that Paramount wanted all of Warner Brothers Discovery, but Netflix is only taking the studio and streaming businesses. So they're not taking Discovery, they're not taking the CNN live networks. Those will, I think, maintain under like maybe a smaller umbrella name or something like that along the way.
Yeah,
don't know how that's gonna work out.
Yeah, because the intention was even before this sale. Was Zaslav had a provision in his contract where he would get a payday if he split the company up between kind of like streaming and then terrestrial kind of like broadcast style networks.
Well,
so that was always kind of the plan. And then these bids started like coming in, like I'm guessing his email inbox, and it was just like, oh boy, okay, this is going faster. So there was always two options out there of where Paramount was going to buy the whole kit and caboodle. And I think maybe at a discount, like, hey, we're going to take on kind of like this unsuccessful side of your business off your hands, but give us a better deal. And then Netflix is like, no, we only want the good stuff. You can do whatever you want with the stuff that's left over.
Yeah. Well, like the linear, I think so. I'm just making sure. So, like you mentioned, the original offer, they weren't gonna sell, but someone was like, we'll buy you. And then they were like, okay, this is it. But like the interesting thing is like Netflix, I think was like mostly cash bid as well. It was like the original one was a stock offer, but now it's all like cash, which is very interesting for that. But yeah, they were going to split Discovery off, put all the essentially the debt on the Discovery brand and close it down. And then Warner Brothers would keep all the non-debt stuff going forward. And then also, like we talked about, like there's the streaming and then the legacy linear channels, which is CNN, TNT, TBS. So we'll kind of see where this goes. But like you said, like this is like when they say they're buying it, this isn't like a next day. Like this isn't tomorrow. Netflix is going to own it, and they may start merging some things or like being cozy. I could see some of the non-contracted stuff that WB still has popping up on Netflix shortly. With this is the Netflix is also I didn't know this has a market cap of $437 billion, which is over twice that of Disney's market cap in the in Hollywood. Is that, I mean, would you have guessed that Netflix had that kind of money, or do you like? I assume they were just hemorrhaging money every time they made something.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a question more for an economist, but as the way I see it is there's kind of like two different ways to kind of value a company. Like there's how much like revenue a company is making opposed to like their cost to operate, and then also just like theoretically like how much is this like company worth. So like that's kind of like what goes on with like Tesla all the time, of just like how is Tesla like one of the most valuable companies on the planet, but they can't even like get like a fender panel to like line up, correctly, and they announce cars and they never come out. It's just because it's all driven by like investor hype. So yeah, there's not a lot of investor hype around like something like Disney. It's like a blue chip. It's like a General Electric. Like nobody's excited about like this legacy brand. But Netflix, they're the disturber that comes in and like they shake things up, which is probably a good reminder to just like, I wouldn't trust anything that comes out of these two studios' mouths while they're trying to get this deal approved. Like they're gonna say like literally anything to keep Washington happy. They're going to say anything to keep filmmakers happy, because they still are going to need relationships with filmmakers. Yeah. I've seen a lot of funny Christopher Nolan memes after this has been announced, since he had such a dust up with Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Well, I was also going to say like there's been a bunch of A-list talent and production people signed an open letter to Congress telling them to speak out against the deal, because that quote, the streamer would effectively hold a noose around the theatrical marketplace. So a lot of people are assuming, or under the assumption, because Netflix is a streaming brand, that anything Warner Brothers would just immediately go streaming. There would be no more theatrical releases. But in like, there are ways, like making a movie and releasing it in the theaters can give you revenue more than probably streaming would over time.
Yeah, which is funny. I feel like that's like that's a conversation that nobody seems to be having. It's kind of like how everyone talks about how Apple has like nobody new to sell an iPhone to. Like everybody that wants an iPhone already has one, so they have to find other streams of revenue. Or like, isn't it the same thing with Netflix? Like they're across the world. Everybody who wants a Netflix subscription already has one. So like, why wouldn't you want to release stuff in theaters? That seems like a way to like add revenue to the business to keep growing. So
they just put Wake Up Dead Man in theaters like last week, right? And that's coming to Netflix here in a couple things. Now, I will say the quote I did say is that window would be shorter. It might be in the theaters. Like they're not going to leave something in the theaters for 3 months and then another 3 months on like VOD before it comes to streaming. They want to be the exclusive person to have that on there and get you to sign up just as quickly. Get the people who didn't watch it come to Netflix, because how long has it been since they started cracking down on password sharing? It's been 2 years now.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, and the passes, like, that was going to be a little bit of a dust up. That nothing. I've not heard anyone complain about that in a long time. So that's that worked in their favor for some revenue, but now they got to get other things, because like Superman allegedly made like $100 million when it came out, right? Like it was like $500 million, and after everything said and done, they made $100 million somehow. And if you can do that with a movie, as when a studio that production company or a studio that does this for their business, you'd think you'd want to keep doing that, right? Like to fuel yourself over time. So I think I'm an optimist in the situation. I don't think again, these big mergers are, like you said, we've seen so many, we've just become numb to them. But I don't think they're going to stop making movies in theaters. I think they're going to see those extra checks come in, that extra dollar signs for that, and then control the streaming options when it lands on Netflix. So you go watch it in theater, or you wait for Netflix. Kind of like Disney's model. It's Disney's model, right? Like you don't stream Pixar, Marvel movies anywhere else. You watch them in theaters, and then you go to Disney. So I can see a parallel between those two coming.
Yeah, speaking of parallels, I feel like there's two different versions of me. Like I could debate like either side of this so easily, which makes it kind of difficult to form an opinion. Corporate consolidation is never good. Like
right.
Literally here in town where I live, there are 3 different lots like occupied by Warner Brothers. You got the normal Warner Brothers iconic lot. That's where the water tower is. That's where the Animaniacs live. We all know that. Mm-hmm. They have another lot just up the street called the Ranch. And then they occupy another studio called the Burbank Studios. And, all of those leases, I don't know if they're going to expire before this deal is done or if Netflix is going to acquire them. And Netflix already has studio space in Hollywood, but also they're building studios all across the country. They're building like a gigantic one in New Mexico, I think. I think there's another one coming to... Maybe it's New Jersey. I don't remember exactly where the other one is. So I just keep thinking, is Netflix not even going to need this space? Or are we going to see some of these lots like dry up and they're just going to turn to like residential or like, real estate? I don't know. So I'm kind of curious just how this town reshapes after it. Mm-hmm. I've been kind of keeping track of this argument of like who killed the movie theater, right? I see this conversation happen a lot on the internet, and it's happening again because it's this battle of like should Warner Brothers exist? Should Netflix like take their movies out of the theaters? It's the same complaints all the time. It's like the snacks are too expensive. It's more comfortable at home. The people are annoying in the theater, and I agree with all of these things as well. But also at the same time, like the theater experience is never going to go back to what it was because they're competing with totally different forms of media now. Like, it's surprised if people can even imagine this, but before the internet, you had to fill your time with other things. So that's when you just like literally drive to a movie theater. You wouldn't even look up like what the movie times were. You would just stroll on up, be like, well, what's playing next? Oh, that looks interesting. Let's go watch it. And you'd kill like 2 hours of your day.
You call movie phone. You say, hey, movie phone. Yeah. Give me those rundowns.
Like depressingly so, I can kill 2 hours on a couch scrolling on TikTok. Or I could play a video game. Like, that's like the real competition. So that's the other side of me that goes like, well, maybe it is inevitable that these big movie studios will start to merge because they're not really competing with each other so much. They're competing with other things that people are doing. You know, they kind of have to shrink down and be more nimble so they can get these, try to find a way to convince these kids that are playing Fortnite, you know, to go to the movie theater. So like I'm like, there's like a tale of two mics going on right now, and I don't know how to square it.
Well, I said the one thing I will add to that is, I like going to the movies, I like going there, watching stuff, but at the same time, it's just there's not enough. Like everyone relies on tentpoles and event films to go to the theaters. There's not enough. Hey, I want to go watch something that looks fun and interesting. You know, like the amount of movies out there is harder for me to say, yeah, I want to go see that. I think the last one I saw was Predator. That was a fun one to go see. But there's like other stuff out there, like, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I'm not going to go watch. But like there's stuff I would love to go see in the theaters, like, but like make more movies. Like the way that the model used to be is like they used to make expensive movies and cheap movies, and all the budgets would even themselves out over the year, right? Like you'd make, like, some cheap ones would make a lot of money, some big ones wouldn't make a lot of money, but all the funds would even themselves out at the end of the year. But now it's like per production is what people are looking at, not, let's say, overall studio health, and that is, to me, where it's missing, because I would love to see some lower, cheaper movies, I guess, if you will, because, like, I don't know, I just like the idea of making movies and seeing a bunch of them, but we're not in that same production anymore. Like that's kind of a whole different issue along the way.
Well, what we should touch on before we wrap the show up real quick here is, what do we think this means for the DC universe? I mean, we've been entering kind of like this DC renaissance here with this Superman movie, Peacemaker season 2,
Supergirl, Clayface.
What's the monster
Creature Commandos? Creature
Commandos. Yeah, so like there's this whole renaissance. I would think if you're Ted Sarandos, you would see the success that James Gunn and Peter Safran were able to do, and I would think you keep it going, right? Like, I don't see why you mess with like the one thing that's kind of working over there at Warner Brothers. You know, the same thing with like the Dune franchise, right? You know, if Warner Brothers was going to keep cranking out Dune movies, you know, it seems like they're going to do the same. I would think all of the comic book stuff would be safe for the most part.
Oh, I don't see why you would change it up at all, if I'm going to be completely honest. I agree with you. I don't foresee them being like, we're going to come in here and we have a working relationship with Zack Snyder. We did his Justice League and we've done all this other stuff. We're gonna reinstate that. That's not gonna happen. Like what do all these businesses? Why are they merging, Mike? Do you know what the sole reason for these mergers is for? At the end of the day,
what's your theory?
It's money. It's fun. It's money. At the end of the day.
I didn't know the answer was going to be so simple, but yes.
It is money, and if something is out there making money, what do you do with it? Do you mess it up, or do you or you try to shake up that moneymaker and see where it lands, or do you let the moneymaker keep making you money along the way?
Yeah, it is kind of weird because this is very new in a way for Netflix, right? You know, we've had a lot of examples of Disney buying IP and turning it into a successful product, right? But Netflix is kind of known for, we just brute forced used all of Silicon Valley's capital to make new IP. We've made 1,000 billion shows, so a couple dozen would go and work. And they got their Stranger Things out of it. They got a few other things out of it. Season 2 of One Piece is coming, but now all of a sudden they've unlocked this cheat code of now they have IP that people know, so they almost don't have to waste as much money anymore. Which sounds really, really anti-artistic of just I get these original ideas out of here. Let's only do IP stuff. They don't have to scrape the bottom of the barrel for Mark Miller properties, right? Or just random anime that nobody's seen. So that could be a bad sign, if Netflix bought, Warner Brothers 4 or 5 years ago, would we even ever have gotten the One Piece TV show, So that could be a sign of some things changing at Netflix.
Well, I also think maybe, but at the same time, we are thinking only in terms of the U.S. Netflix is a global company, right? As well, and they will I mean, they've turned a lot of anime into live action stuff. I absolutely don't foresee them forsaking some of those things because we're just assuming, dollars to movie tickets, dollars to subscriptions. But at the same time, like, what about the licensing? Right? Toys of all the DC toys, action figures, video games, even like One Piece is. They probably don't have One Piece video games, but if they want to make some stuff based on the like collectibles and stuff off the show, they could. So I think there's a lot of opportunities. Like there are other ways to make money rather than just the media that we're assuming right now. But I guess the other thing at the end of the day, like to me, they're not going to change DC, at least not until Man of Tomorrow's out. Like they'll probably let him see how next year goes, right? He has, like we've talked about this, he has two shows and 2 movies that are not James Gunn directly touched. They're just like productions under him. They'll probably see how it goes. Let Man of Tomorrow get produced and out the theaters, and then maybe make a decision if they're gonna shake it up or try to keep going in that direction. But DC is no stranger to rebooting in the comic book world and in the the movie world as well. Mike, anything else before we wrap up today's episode?
I think we nailed it.
What Christmas movie are you going to watch this week? You can pick one.
Ooh, I mean, my top 2 are Just Friends and Jingle All the Way, so I think it's got to be one of those 2 coming up.
Okay, I'm trying to hold off on Christmas Vacation, but I might do Jingle All the Way, and I've already watched Home Alone. Should I watch Home Alone 2? I don't feel like I'm gonna enjoy it as much. What do you think? Are you a Home Alone 2 guy?
Is it because of a specific scene that happens in the Plaza Hotel?
No.
That I asked you to find a version where they edit it out.
No, it's not that. But I mean, like, just overall, like, when I don't think of Home Alone, I don't think of Home Alone 2. Like, I don't think of the Bird Lady, I guess, necessarily.
That's interesting. I think of both almost like simultaneously. They're 2 sides of a coin.
Yeah, well, it's also got Rob Schneider. I think he's probably more of a negative against it, but they have Tim Curry, so that evens it out. Damn it.
See, Tim Curry. I mean, when they do the transition from the animated Grinch to his face, that's cinema right there.
It is, and that like they actually keep the burn mark on, not Marv's. Is it Marv's hand from the first movie? Like whenever
it's Marv and Harry. It's Harry. That's right.
Okay, yeah, he grabs it. I always love that part. But maybe after talking about it, it's going to be Muppet Christmas Carol, simply because I brought that up earlier. So that'll be it for this week. People know what you're doing, what you're up to. Where can they find you at, buddy?
Oh, they can read my webcomics at pickledcomics.com and liferewardsrisk.com. Chris, people want to catch up with you. Where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram, Valdan87, VALDAN, or video game systems of the same name. I've been playing Marvel Cosmic Invasion this week. Absolute blast. I highly recommend it. It's on sale for like $26. Absolutely worth $26. I want to put it on my arcade machine, Mike. Steam supports 4-player local with the arcade sticks. Would be awesome, I think. So I'm going to see if I can get on there. People know more about the show, where we are every week, and catch our Avatar and Stranger Thing reviews at the end of the year. Where can you get all them goodies at?
Yes, head on over to superheroslate.com. That is the website that we would sell in an instant if Netflix gave us $80 billion for it.
I like
to dream.
I take $100 million. We don't even have to go into the billions. We'll take several million.
Sometimes I like to believe that maybe there'll be like a typo in like a contract one day for that somehow our URL got in there. So it'd be cheaper for the company to like buy us out than like pay a lawyer to like rewrite the contract.
Yeah.
And we would just win. So rest assured, right now, superheroslate.com is the home for everything we do here, but we will sell it in a second.
We will cash out and bro down so hard.
Yes.
For that.
But you'll always find us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. I guess we don't need a domain name for that necessarily. You can get merch at superheroslate.com/store. We love hearing from you. Do you think we should sell everything and retire? I think Epstein's got an island that's up for sale. We could buy it. And we can make it wholesome. We'll build a theme park on it.
A movie theater that can't be touched by Netflix.
Exactly. But we love our super fans. So if you want to be a super fan of the show, just share the show with a friend, share the show with a buddy. We'll be here next week, folks.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.